Since its creation by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill in the late 19th century, utilitarianism has not ceased to constantly affect the world by means of creating a new branch of political and ethical thought that focuses on people as a whole and choosing actions based upon the overall happiness derived from it. Utilitarianism provides an outline, or rather a guideline, to introducing the morality of actions, right or wrong, and goes as far as to say that one is compelled to act in the best interest of all humans if one wishes to be moral. Let's say, leave a hypothetical. You're a medical professional driving to a remote hospital to help deliver a baby. You happen across a car accident involving two men, one of whom is the father of the child, the other being an old man. If you helped either of the men, there's a chance that the mother and her unborn child will die. You, as a utilitarian, decide that there is greater richness and purity in saving the life of a young child who has, in all probability, a long life ahead of them, and its mother. The overall happiness is increased by this action alone. The philosophy was very popular with the intellectuals of the Victorian era. Utilitarianism has influenced both classical liberalism and libertarianism. Libertarianism is quite simply the belief in liberty above all other things. Libertarians believe that each person owns his own life and property, and has the right to make his own decisions as to how he lives his life, and as long as he simply respects the same right of others to do the same. Another way of saying this is that libertarians believe you should be free to do as you please with your own life and property, as long as you don't harm the person and property of others. Classical liberalism is very similar to libertarianism, uh, and shares those tenets, though it becomes less utilitarian and more libertarian when one approaches its economic side. Both of these political factions become increasingly popular within the last 5 decades. Utilitarianism beliefs have, in the same way, paved the way for such political radicals as Ayn Rand and similar. Utilitarianism influenced deliberative democracy and economic democracy as well. Economic democracy is the providing of economic empowerment to all citizens in all local communities, and to prevent the concentration of economic power that subverts mass political and economic empowerment, meaning that all citizens have the right to have an absolutely equal valued opinion on matters, and the belief that one should avoid giving anyone more power over another by economic means. Many call economic democracy just a synonym for socialism. Economic democracy takes the utilitarian desire for liberty and takes it to a new level, completely leveling the social hierarchy, making everyone the same status regardless of job or ethnicity. Deliberative democracy is a form of democracy in which deliberation is central to decision-making. Deliberative democracy strengthens citizens' voices in governance by including people of all social/cultural divisions in deliberations that directly affect public decisions. Thusly, citizens influence and can see the result of their influence on the policy and resource decisions that impact their daily lives and future. Deliberative democracy agrees with the utilitarianism maxim that the only right choice is the one that produces the most happiness. With representatives for every major group of humans, the overall happiness can easily be reached via means of the political process. This ensures that important minority groups will be represented in a fair, considerate setting and will not be looked over, thus raising the overall happiness. Basically, utilitarianism since the Victorian era provided the first foundation for these changes, or these thought constructs that sort of really began to change life as we know it, politically, socially, and to an extent economically. And it's quite important.